Okay. So in the last class, we seen that what is friction, definition of friction. So different types of frictions like static friction, dynamic friction, rolling friction. So types of frictions also we seen that, and angular friction, that also we seen that. So angular friction is nothing but the friction between the reaction and the resultant. The friction between the reaction. This is the total resultant reaction and normal reaction. The angle between normal reaction and resultant reaction, that is called as a angle of friction. So it is also called as a limiting friction. Then coefficient of friction, it is normally denoted mu. Mu is nothing but coefficient of friction. It is defined as limiting friction and normal reaction. Limiting friction and normal reaction. So this is the one kind of friction, coefficient of friction definition. Next, coming into that, the kind of friction is arising when the body is resting on parallel plane. I mean that normal plane, when the friction is existing when the body is resting on inclined plane. So likewise, we can see that the body is locating at different locations, like on the parallel, like on inclined at the rate of 30 degrees, inclined at the rate of 60 degrees, inclined at the rate of 70 degrees of angle. And we can take the examples and we can analyze how the friction is generating, right? So firstly, we'll start with a body is placing on a body is placing on horizontal plane, and when the body is trying to take a dynamic movement, when the body is trying to take a dynamic force on by the external forces, then how the friction is generating, that is the concept we are going to see now. So in this just one diagram I have been located here. You can see the diagram. So by taking of this diagram, you can analyze. See here, this is the horizontal plane. This is the horizontal plane. On the horizontal plane, the body has located on the horizontal plane. The body has located. This is the body. This one is the body. Body has located there. Then, so when the body is located on the plane, horizontal plane, so automatically due to gravity, the body weight will be towards downward direction and the normal reaction is towards upward direction, right? So these two conditions has to study, these two conditions has to understand. Whenever the body is placed at particular position, due to gravity, the body weight towards downward direction, and due to that gravity force, the reaction force also will be the reaction force will be acted towards opposite. So always these two forces are at 90 degrees. These two forces are at 90 degrees. Then come to that. So whenever body is placed on that, these two forces are existed, analyzed by us. Then the force when applying either this direction or either this direction, with respect to that the force applied, the friction will be developed opposite to that. Say for example, I'm going to apply the force like this direction, then the friction force will be opposite to that. So whenever I would like to go for applying force towards this direction, towards right, from left to right, then the friction force will be opposite to this concept has to understand by you, right? So let me consider that a body is resting on horizontal plane as shown in figure. Let an effort P is applied to the applied at an angle of theta. So this is the applied force. I'm not taking either parallel to horizontal direction from right to left or left to right, but I am considering here the body force, the pulling force is inclined with some angle to the base, with some angle to the base. So angle to the horizontal such that the body A just move. So body when applying force P is applied on the body such that the body is just tends to get a dynamic movement. A body is tends to get a start the position, tends to get to start the position. The various forces are acting on the body when the body tends to move from the original position. So in order to finalize the friction, in order to calculate the friction, the amount of force, which is the force is acting over it, this has to take a resolving. So likewise, we can take as a resolving. So by taking of a resolve force, we can calculate the friction here. We can calculate the friction. So when the force is at parallel to the ground, at parallel to the base, you cannot consider resolving forces. This is one thing. When the force is applying at some angle, an angle, here I'm representing angle. So in such cases, you must be take resolve forces like. So already in engineering mechanics, you maybe take that four conditions like this. So four conditions are like this. So whenever your force is like this with some angle to the base, so then you have to take a resolving forces like this. So whenever you have a force of like this, then you have to consider a resolving forces like this, right? So by taking of resolving of that resultant force, then we can have a friction and we can calculate the friction. This is our aim over here, right? Next, come to this. So whenever I have a friction, then I'm going to resolving of this. This is the resolving force. So this is horizontal resolving force. This is the vertical resolving force. Horizontal, I can take cos theta. Here I represent, here the diagram is represented P cos theta. Vertically, I'm going to take as a P sin theta because the theta is represented from the base. Whenever the theta is represented from this vertical, then these two are shifting together. So instead of push sine theta at horizontal, then you can cos theta at horizontal, you can take cos theta for vertical, sine theta for vertical, then you can consider as a sine theta for horizontal, right? The representation has to remember, the representation has to got by you. Then once the representation from the base, then cos for horizontal, sine for vertical, the representation of theta from vertical from not from ground, from vertical, then these two cos theta sin theta are shifting opposite to together, right? Now this is the horizontal and this is the vertical. I'm going to consider equilibrium on horizontal forces because I'm summing of the horizontal forces. By summing of horizontal forces, I have drawn that one equation. Then similarly, you can take into by summing of vertical forces, then this is the one equation. By taking of one and two equations, solving of one and two equations, we have this. We'll take you this. Then because one equation and the second equation just equating together, by equating of together, then we'll have this equation. Because I'll provide you these slides and all, so you can understand that later. Just before that, you just remember that by resolving of inclined plane or inclined force, then and summing of horizontal forces and summing of vertical forces by substituting of equation 2 in 1, then we'll have a this is equation. Then coming to next slide. So after continuation of that, after solving the equation 1 and 2, solving equation 1 and 2, we'll get a finally, the final thing is the final W sin P is equal, force is equal W sin pi by cos pi. Then in order to get the minimum force, this is the minimum force formula. P minimum is equal W sin theta. Because if this is the final equation, this is the final formula. In order to get the minimum force, because the force is applying with some incline, so after taking of resolving forces, this must be a minimum force. This must be a minimum force because in the design sector, we cannot make it into maximum force. We are taking that minimum force. In order to get the minimum force, this we are considering as a 1, denominator considering as a 1. So that in that cases, P is equal to P minimum is equal to W sin theta. This is the formula which you remember always, right? So this is the force, not minimum force. This is the force, or simply you can take as a maximum force, this one. So when the maximum force representing in the formula W sin pi by cos theta minus pi, when representing minimum force W sin theta. So this is the one equation, the equation brought from friction is generating in order to apply the force, in order to apply the minimum force, right? In order to apply the minimum force. Next, come to that inclined plane. So till now we've seen that when the body is locating on ground, the ground is a plain ground. There is no any inclination. There is no inclination. Now we'll see that at inclination, when the body is mounting at inclination position, how the friction is, how the way of we are considering, the way of we are taking principles to calculate the friction. Now see that this is the body. The body is positioned at an angle of theta, at an angle of theta, right? At an angle of theta. So once the body is placed at an angle of theta, so as I said previously in the previous slide, so body is getting that magnetic force. Magnetic force is nothing but acceleration force. Acceleration due to gravity, it will get that force that must be towards vertical direction, and reaction force, reaction from the gravity. So this is the mg is nothing but vertical force. Vertical force. This is acceleration due to gravity. A value acceleration due to gravity, and see that the normal reaction is normal reaction is parallel perpendicular to this. The normal reaction is perpendicular to this. Perpendicular to what? Perpendicular to this angle. Perpendicular to this angle. So that is why it is not in straight move. It is not in straight move. It has been some angle because these two must be perpendicular to each other. So in the previous class, we seen that when the body is positioned at parallel to the ground, this is parallel to the ground. This is the acceleration due to gravity, and this one is the reaction force. So the reaction force is perpendicular to this. Perpendicular to this. The reaction force is perpendicular to this. Now the plane is not in the plane is not in horizontal. The plane is inclined. So the in that cases the reaction force is perpendicular to this. The reaction force is perpendicular to this. So that is why it is perpendicular to this. Right. Magnetic acceleration force is cannot be vary with that. Acceleration force is towards downward direction at any position of the body. That you remember always in this case. That you remember always in this case. And the reaction force is perpendicular to with respect to the position of the body. With respect to position of the body. This is the position of the body with respect to this. This is the 90 degrees perpendicular. So this is the one, the reaction force, right? Got it. Next. So next I'm going to take as a axis over here. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So on the y-axis it is normal reaction is taking, normal reaction or resultant reaction is taking, and magnitude is vertically downward direction. So axis from the center of the body, axis from this. Right. Once axes have been located, then see. So the terminology. Right. So this is 90 minus theta. This axis, this is 90 minus theta because it is inclined. It is a incline. So that is why it is 90 minus theta. Perpendicular means 90. So it is not perpendicular to each other. It is less than the perpendicular to each other. Less than the perpendicular to each other. See, this is less than the perpendicular to each other. If the body would be, if the plane would be like this, then these two are perpendicular. Then in that case, we can consider 90. We can consider 90, but it is less than the 90. That is why 90 minus theta. So now we are considering these two, 90 minus theta, right? 90 minus theta. and this one is 90. This one is 90. Next. See now. So axis have been provided here, and axis have been provided here, and this one is the acceleration due to gravity force, and this one is the reaction force. Reaction force. So whenever the axis have been mounted, so with respect to this axis, this is what and the principle is taken place. The reference is from not base. The reference is not from x-axis. The reference from y-axis. This is the reference from y-axis. So in that case, the horizontal force is taking sine, and the vertical force is taking cos. So in case the reference is taking from horizontal, from x-axis. So in that case, so this will come for this horizontal, and this will come for vertical, right? So that is why I'm asking you people, don't confuse here. So the reference is from y-axis over here, the reference taking y-axis from over here. So that is why the sine theta for horizontal and cos theta for vertical. In case the reference is for x-axis, then these two would be shifting together. These two would be shifting together. So that is the one, the representation, the resolving force. Resolving forces for this. Resolving forces for the magnitude force. So after resolving of the forces, then then here the process is taken place. Horizontal summing of horizontal forces and summing of vertical forces. So by summing of horizontal forces and by summing of vertical forces, this will get finally. So here the conclusion is, so whatever the body position with respect to plane, then we are the one to calculate the friction. To determine the friction, we have to take the resultant force. The kind of resultant force has to take a resolving force. So after taking consider of the resolving forces, summing of all vertical forces and summing of all reaction horizontal forces, so that you will get a resultant force. The resultant force is nothing but R is equal summation of vertical forces, summation of horizontal force. Then we can calculate the friction force. We can calculate the friction force. So this is the principle. This is the principle. Always you have to follow it. So in the dynamics of machinery, the body is taking the inclined plane from the axis. So in this cases, the force has to resolve.
సార్ ఆ ఫోన్ ఆఫ్ చేయండి సార్.
ఫోన్ ఆఫ్ అయిపోయింది. ఎవరో కాల్ చేస్తున్నారు, ఏం చేయాలి మరి? హలో,
మీరు చెప్పేది వినపడలేదు సార్, అదే ఎక్కువ వినపడుతుంది.
ఫోనా? సరే సరే, అది అయిపోయిందండి, దాని కథ అయిపోయింది. So that is the principle we have to follow here. So irrespective of that body position, plane position, the resolving forces must be resolved, and summing the horizontal forces and summing the vertical forces. Some cases take the equation 1 and equation 2, then solve that equation, and finally we'll get a friction force, right? So this concept has to understand by each and every student. Just don't by heart this, just concept. So the reference from either x-axis or y-axis, the reference from vertical axis or horizontal axis. So irrespective of vertical axis, you take that cos theta and sin theta. Irrespective of that x-axis, the reference, take that cos theta and sin theta. Just go for resolving forces and summing the forces. Finally, you will get the answer. Right? This is the inclined plane concept. Now you can see the diagram is imaging here step by step. See here, please observe the screen. So it has been shifted from inclined plane to horizontal plane. Inclined plane to horizontal plane. In that case, the situation is changing here. The situation is changing. So now the reference is from vertical axis. So that is why vertical is cos theta, horizontal is sin theta. See, that is the plane angle. Trigonometry is taking place there. So, right. So this and all, you need not to get confusion by the taking of this. Just you take the principle of the plane and resolve the forces. So thing is, you have to understand by resolving how to resolve the forces whenever it is four axes, four coordinates. Then once you know how to resolve that, this and all not required. But anyway, you just get it two into once. See now. See now, the reference is the reference is from horizontal base. Here, the reference is horizontal base, not from vertical base, not from vertical base, right? So that is why the reference is taking from horizontal base. So horizontal is cos theta, vertical is sin theta. So you know that sin theta and cos theta by taking of these trigonometric principles, then we'll have a final solution, right? So that is the one thing which you have to remember here. Right. So got it now. So this is the first one concept in our syllabus. When the body is located on horizontal plane, when the body is located at the inclined plane. So with respect to that, we have to calculate the friction. So this is the inclined, the body is positioned at inclined position and the body is positioned at a horizontal position. So two concepts are there. So with respect to the two concepts, you can generate the friction or you can calculate the friction, right? Next, that is the inclined plane. This concept is at inclined plane. This concept is at the horizontal plane. The body is located at horizontal plane. So ultimately, our aim is to calculate the minimum force required. Minimum force required here, P is equal to W sin theta. So here the minimum force or minimum friction can be calculated by resolving the force. By resolving the force. Next topic, I'll take you there. Right. Next topic, I'm going to take you into that next topic. So that is screws and nuts. The friction between the screws and nuts. So in regular basis, whenever we have a bolt and nut in our two hands, so it is a fascinating that it is tightening of those two. So in order to tightening of two individual components, bolt and nut must be take and tightening of those two. Then we can have a fastening. We can have a assembling of those two. So the assembling is to do for avoiding of friction between the two components. Say for example, this is the one component. This is the one component and this is the another component. In between the two components, I'm going to take as a one part. This is the part. So these two parts are made by two individual components. This is the one component. This is the another component. Between of the two components, the stud has passed, the bolt has passed, and nut is tightening by two. So in order to make the tightening of these two individual parts as a assembly, to avoid the movement, to avoid the restricted position, to avoid the movement of restricted position, then this is taking place. While tightening of this nut and losing of this nut between these two parts, those two parts, whenever the nut is passing over here, over the screws, the friction is generating. The kind of friction is called as a screw nut friction, screw friction, right? So in order to make the tightening of some individual component as an assembly component, to make to get a particular function, to get a proper function, so tightening by nut and bolt. So during that nut and bolt tightening, there is a friction because the nut is passing over the screws. So in that case, the friction is generating. The kind of friction is called as a screw friction. Got it? Screw friction is nothing but in order to tightening of assembly components into individual component into assembly component. So the tightening must be taken place. The tightening is done. So during the tightening, the screw friction is generating here. The screw friction is generating here. So to avoid the friction between these two, sometimes we are going to use a washer because taking tighten and taking loose of that component particular position. So the washer is one. The washer is playing vital important role over here. Clear now? So see that a nut is a type of hardware fastener. Fastener is nothing but assembling of two individual components with a thread hole. With a thread hole. The nut is having a thread hole, hollow hole. Here you can see that this is the thread hole because hollow thread hole. Then a nut are almost always used opposite to mating bolt. So this is opposite to this. You can see this. This is the hollow position. This is the screw position. This always opposite to this, not to clockwise. This is anti-clockwise. So whenever these two components are taking into anti-clockwise, so left hand and right hand, you take that this is the left hand, you take that this is the right hand. So our two hands make it into opposite to together so that the functioning of tightening together is taken place. Otherwise, it cannot be taken place. So opposite to together is a tightening. Same side to together is losing, right? Is losing. That is the principle over here. So that you know that principle, but once again, I'm going to take you that principle. So this is the principle. This is the principle where the friction, the kind of screw friction is taking place. Not only here, so many places where the screw components are mating together, where the screw components are getting together or start together. In that situations, the screw friction is taking place here. So previous concept we seen that the friction is generating when the body is at parallel, when the body is on the ground at parallel, when the body is positioned at inclined place. That is the one condition or one thing where the friction is generating. And the second case is where the friction is generating at screws, at the screws. So that is the second case. Next. Next, the two parts are kept together. Combination of their threads, friction, and slightly stretch the bolt and compress of the parts. That all I told you. So some two individual components are making into final component. In that cases, the kind of friction is generating. The application is where more vibrations are taking place, more rotationals are taking place. There we can see that. Say for example, whenever you're traveling in the bus, so due to heavy speed of the bus, some of the components are getting vibrations. So with that vibrations, the passengers are getting bored or they're unfeeling it. The passengers are getting unfeeling of traveling. So in order to avoid the friction, in order to avoid the vibration, our vibration is nothing but one kind of friction here. So in order to avoid the vibration when the bus is traveling at high speed, then the all individual components must be tied together so that the passengers are comfort at high speed also. So that is why the vibrations or rotations also must be loose. So in that cases, tied them. In that cases, tied them so that the vibration can be avoided. So likewise, we have seen that some avoiding forces also here. Screw threads often shortened And one more condition also we can take here in terms of avoiding of screw friction. So the kind of thread length, the kind of screw thread length is not so much. So as much as it is try to reduce the distance of screw thread so that the friction can also be reduced here. So in that case, I show you that in that case, the distance of this, the distance of this. So as much as possible, try to reduce the distance of this so that the friction can be minimized here. The friction can be minimized here. So in the design cases, the distance of the threading length must be reduced so that the friction also can be reduced. So that is why often shortened to the thread is a helical structure used to convert the rotational and linear movement of the force. Then screw thread is a ridge wrapped around the cylindrical or cone in the form of a helix. Sometimes there is a helixical screw threads also is there, circular screw threads and square threads also is there, helix threads also is there. So in that cases also there is a possibility to raise the friction. So that friction also we're going to see. See, so the terminology of screw, right hand thread and left hand thread, the two diagrams are made here, and this is the thread portion. So the in the thread portion, the pitch is the one pitch you have to understand, and crest and root. So root is nothing but this is the root. I'll show you that. This is the root bottom minimum diameter. So this one is the maximum diameter, and this one is the sorry, this one is the minimum diameter, maximum diameter, and this is the pitch.
సార్ వాయిస్ వినిపించడం లేదు సార్.
సార్ వాయిస్ వినపడలేదు సార్ మీది.